Doing an update here on my HAPA 59 Pontiac, and I'm kind of doing this somewhat, for the WW2 fan. Hope you watch this. Now, I was talking about that fuse block in my car, and this one here, it was a mess. But I pulled it all out, and I cleaned it all up, and I rewired it all, and everything works. That neutral safety switch I was talking about is this deal here, but this one's in a strange position, and that's what I'm talking about, that purple and pink wire. If you splice them two together, you just cut it and splice together, you actually eliminate the neutral safety switch. I'm not saying that is your problem, but it might be. Only thing is, when you don't have that hooked up right, and you can start the car and drive and reverse, it will start in any position. So just keep that in mind. And I don't even know if that's your problem, but I did it, and I'm not an electrician, and I did buy one of those rewiring kits on eBay. And when I got it, and I really studied on it, I realized there was no way I was going to make that work. But you should have seen that thing. I got a video on YouTube, at least a couple probably, and you can check it out if you want. But what I'm talking about mainly today is trying to get this radiator hooked up and in here. And I'm having a lot of problems, and it's because you can't buy new old stock radiators for these cars, for the 59 for sure. And I did take this to a radiator shop, and I had it there before, and they said it was rotten, and it would need to be, record. But now they said to record, it'd be over $1,000. And so what I did was I bought this, but it doesn't fit right. One thing for sure is, this thing's in the middle, and it sits up high. I don't even know if I can close the hood on this one. It's all in. I'll have to improvise that. But anyways, the one that's in, I got an original radiator in my driver car, and that one they were able to get it. This is quite a few years back, but they literally took the top off, and they did what they called rodding it. And when they run this rod through, it cleans out a lot of trash. But when they tried to do with this one, they said it was too rotted out inside. And if you're a radiator person, you know what they're talking about. I don't, precisely know what they mean, but they weren't kidding around with it. My big problem with this radiator is, okay, if you have to replace one in one of these cars, you can see this thing runs straight up and down. That's where it bolts into the radiator frame. And the problem is, the closest I could get, and maybe I found this on eBay, and maybe I picked the wrong one, but you see this thing here, it's slanted for whatever reason. And I believe this is supposed to fit in a 61 Oldsmobile. But, you have to bolt to this, and it won't, So I had to make all these crazy concoctions, and that's what you're seeing here. I took wood, and I glued it together. I know this is crazy, but I had it in there yesterday, and it works. Now on this side I got wood. I got that braced up there because I needed it up high enough so when this thing's in, I'll be able to get the hoses on the bottom. And so that's for this side. Now this side here, believe it or not, this is from an old shower. Aluminum piece, with the doors sliding open and close. And I measured it, and I got it in here, and when it's dropped in, this is going to be cut. As you can see, it's going to be cut off right there. And then when it goes in, I've already done it, and it holds this in the right position, and they were even. I think it was 1¼ inches on both sides, so it was right. And what I had to do was drill holes I was taking screws and putting white out on them, you know, on the tips, and then running them through the holes and making my marks, and then drilling. You can see where I made drill holes. And I only have one more to do, but it's going to be the toughest one. It's down here. I'm probably going to have to, I might have to take this out. The battery box, this is homemade too. And I'll probably have to take the power steering pump off to get at it, but it's a must do. And once I get that done, I'll be able to put this in and then, you know, hook up everything and the hoses and all. It will not have a heater because it doesn't have the water outlet down there at the bottom that it's supposed to have for the heater. See, on this one here, you got this extra, this outlet here, and you got a, you know, radiator hose, not a radiator hose, you know, heater hose that hooks to that, and that's what runs to your heater core. It's a strange setup. In my other video, you saw how the heater core comes from here too, and this got busted off in there, but I fixed that. And to our WW2 fan, see this car here, the heater, the blower motor's in there. That's where it would be. That's what I mean. You had to take the fender off to take the blower motor out. And then this here, to take and get you at your heater core, you have to take this off, right, from this side. But even when you get this off, you can't get the heater core out, at least on the 59s, until you go into the inside compartment, which I'm going to show you. And this is from, you know, inside the cockpit, and here's where that core would set up. Don't mind that. And there's where the hoses would come in and out. And so you have to see all this stuff. Even when you take that front cover off out here in the engine compartment, you still have to come in here and take it out from in here too. And I've got the heater core that went here. Let's see if we can show you a video of that. Lots of guesswork I'm doing with these drills and all, but it's coming together. All right, let's go find that heater core. I'm working on my Simpson family. I'll be making a video of them when I get them done. All right. This and that in here. All sorts of little things. But here's the heater core. And this one came out of that half a Pontiac. I kept it. It'll never have a heater in it. Maybe you'd be interested in buying it. I don't know. I know. I've seen them on occasionally on eBay. They're kind of pricey. You know, this thing would probably have to, you know, be fixed up. I don't know. But this is what the one that came out at 59 looks like. And it was crazy to get it out. But I've taken good care of it. See, that's what I'm talking about. You remember those two holes I was showing you inside the car? That's where the heater hoses would hook up to that. These would be coming out of the firewall into the engine compartment. And this thing works with a pull thing, you know, a cable. And you're pulling the cable. Actually, it's a push and pull thing inside the driver's compartment. But the heater itself is you know, determining whether you're going to be defrosting or putting heat down to the floor. It's all this rubber hoses and this crazy vacuum system with all, I guess you'd call them, lots of different manifolds running the air. But I'll die and this will probably get thrown out in the trash. You know how that goes. He's just always taking it easy. Lucky guy. Sometimes I sleep out here. It's been a while. It's all filled with water, but I'll burn incense to keep the mosquitoes away. All right, so let's see if we can't get this all together and functional.